You may have watched the video I put out a year ago talking about the fact that you should never call a person autistic. Well, I was always taught to use first person language when referring to someone. So, for example, if someone's sick, let's say they have cancer, you don't say that that person is cancer, you say that person has cancer. It's a person with cancer. So, I was taught that autism is the same thing, that you should never call a person autistic because it becomes their identity as opposed to just something that they have. So, when I put that video out, I had no idea it was going to cause a ton of controversy. But when I posted it in Facebook's groups, I had a lot of people with autism tell me that they liked being called autistic. They identified as autistic and they found the video offensive. Now, I had other people who messaged me and said, well, thank you so much for posting this because I totally agree with you. So I realized there's this great debate in the autism community whether or not you should call someone autistic or a person with autism. So I am an autism professional. I don't believe that I'm qualified to have an opinion about it. But what I wanted to do is bring people with autism. And I guess I keep saying people with autism. So that's where I stand. But, bringing people with autism on the show so they can tell you what they think, what they like to be called. And this is the first person we're bringing on, but we're going to be doing multiple shows like this. So you can listen to what their opinion is and then decide for yourself what you believe. So the person who is coming on here today, he did a podcast with me. He's amazing. He's a friend of mine. He has autism. He was diagnosed with autism, I believe as a child, but he can clarify if I'm wrong. And he now is an advocate and speaker for people with autism. He goes around, he speaks to talk about the needs that people with autism have in the workplace, how to help children with autism in schools. He's a well-known speaker. He's an author. He's amazing, and he gives back so much to the community. So his name is Jesse Saperstein. I'm so excited to hear his take on it. I actually don't know. I told him not to tell me because I wanted this to be a natural conversation. So Jesse, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me here, Jessica.
It is my pleasure. All right, Jesse, settle the debate for us. Do you like to be called autistic or a person with autism? Does it even matter, and why?
I'm going to be honest. For me, it does not even matter at all. If someone says you're autistic or you have autism, I guess I'm less offended by do you have autism than are you autistic. But I'll be perfectly honest, Jessica, there are so many things that offend me all the time that I try not to add more than are necessary. I'm about 100 times more offended if I say for here at a restaurant and someone says, okay, here you go, and it's in a styrofoam container, and the environment suffers because someone refuses to listen, then that's much more offensive than being called autistic. But I do believe that you should always assume that a person wants to be called a person with autism, and that should be the rule of thumb. And you're right, some people will be offended by that, and they identify completely as having autism. But for those people, try to remember what they like, but if they're offended, who cares? It's a big deal, because my philosophy as someone who's autistic or a person with autism is that if I offend 15% of everybody I meet, then I'll be an extremely happy man, and I'll feel like the king of the world.
Yeah, well, the bottom line is you can't please everyone. So I think it comes down to personal choice. I love your advice is try to remember what people want and be sensitive to people's needs. I think use some degree of common sense. Thank you so much, Jesse. Thank you again for coming on to the show, for sharing your opinions with us. So if you are watching this video, I want you to subscribe to this channel. So there are going to be lots more videos like this. I also am committed to bringing free training for parents, so you know exactly what to do really in any situation. I'm going to be bringing occupational therapists, speech therapists, physical therapists. I'm collaborating with other behavior therapists therapist, so you know as a parent how to treat your child as a whole. One of the things that makes me different than most other behavior people is that I am just really huge in having holistic education, treating a child as an individual, knowing they're not a statistic, knowing that a comprehensive approach to meet all of their needs is what's super, super important. And in this year, 2019, there's going to be a lot more coming that you're going to find really, really helpful, ways that you can incorporate all the things you've learned from this channel already in a really much bigger way to make sure your child's getting the maximum benefit from all the therapies they're receiving. So thank you so much again, Jesse. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
It was great seeing you again, Jessica, and look forward to collaborating in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I would love to hear your opinion about whether or not you think it's appropriate to call someone a person with autism or someone autistic. The only thing I ask is that you guys keep the comments clean and civil. I know this is a really hot topic, but let's just be really respectful and let's figure it out.